So I think I want to do a little behind the scenes, unedited. I don't have time to edit another video, or I just want to be more casual. Perhaps that's what I'll turn this channel into. So I think it's called Plundering with Paula if I leave it that way. But on this channel, maybe I wanted to do some behind the scenes stuff and just talk out the court hearing, divorce court hearing I sat through. It's hot, just got out of the tub. But this court hearing was a trip. So you guys may have watched some of the body cam videos I've put up for Kim Zolciak, or Kim Biermann. I think she wants to be called Zolciak because that's what the judge kept calling her this morning. This morning, 9 a.m., I believe it's October. I wish I knew. I should get my watch to see what date it is. I think it's, let's see, Monday's the 21st, 19th. Today's the 17th, October 17th. No, that's wrong. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I think today's the 16th. Today is Wednesday at 9 a.m. So I knew Kim Zolciak and her estranged husband, Kroy Biermann, they had a divorce hearing today in Fulton County down in Georgia in Atlanta. Boy, I was the only media there on the Zoom. It's a Zoom hearing. Divorce court hearings, especially celebrities, are a matter of public record. But I couldn't help just feeling like the enemy today. I was the only one there with the judge. She was cool, real pretty young judge. Kim Zolciak Kroy Biermann and several other attorneys and court people. Maybe there were about 10 people total. A couple of lawyers, I think those were Kim's lawyers. Snyder and Snyder, if I'm not mistaken, they were there on Zoom. So in Atlanta, as I'm learning as a YouTuber, 55 years old, it's really popular to say you're like over 50 or over 40 or something on YouTube these days. So I might title this video something like that. But anyway, I'm sweating. I'm going to be very casual today. So you will get to see all the behind the scenes of me. I don't do this on my true crime channel. You know, I'm heavy on the editing, and whoa, that's what readers or viewers have come to expect. But it takes a long time. So I thought, let me be more casual over here, behind the scenes, give you guys a behind the scenes look at the day-to-day stuff we go through as reporter, citizen journalist, non-traditional media, whatever you want to call us. This is what we go through. So I put in a Rule 22 to request from the judge this Zoom hearing that I'm going to attend, can I record it? And then I kept getting back the response that perhaps you can record it if the judge decided you could record it. You can only record it by going down to Fulton County in Atlanta in the court, which I don't know. I live far away from Atlanta. So the point was, okay, I withdrew my Rule 22. I couldn't record it. I kept explaining, I'm going to be there on Zoom. The hearing's on Zoom. All of our little faces online. I just want to record it on Zoom. Just hit screen record so I can show all my true crime viewers who've been following this case. You may have seen the body cam videos. I'll try and link to some if I can put it in the description. And yeah, that couple, Kim Zolciak was with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kroy Biermann was a popular football player. They had their Don't Be Tardy reality show on Bravo. Famous couple, sad. They're going through a divorce. Kim looked great. Kroy looked great. It was just very sad. Kroy looked like he might have been sitting in a car or something. He had on his like cinematic like I have now, but you know how people really blur their backgrounds nicely. He had his beard. He may have been sitting in a car. At one point, he kind of just looked off, and it's just really sad. What else can you say? You hate to see marriages break up, especially marriages with children. I was just praying for them. He looked off. It was sad. And then Kim was there. It looks like she was in her house, perhaps, her long blonde hair. And at one point, the judge is talking to the other people in the courtroom. She's admonishing Kim and Kroy's lawyers, like, we don't have time to go back and forth and do all this stuff. There's other people. This hearing is only supposed to be in half an hour. There's other people in this courtroom who want to get divorced. Y'all want to get divorced, right? And the other people in the courtroom are, I guess, saying yes. And Kim Zolciak is going, I want to get divorced. And Kroy, I don't think he said anything at that point. It's just sad. What else can you say? But the part that really got under my nerves is Fulton County. Okay, I'm grateful the judge even let me in the Zoom hearing, and it had the name of my company, Plunder LLC. Plunder LLC, because usually we don't have to cam up. But those Fulton County judges lately, they've been on some, you got to turn on your camera, you got to turn on your camera. So of course, it was like, hair was like, ugh. I'm glad I was halfway clean and decent. I had on a pink t-shirt. Oh, my tummy is growling. I hadn't even brushed my teeth yet earlier. I'm all better now. I wish I'd looked more like this. But it was 9 a.m. I wasn't expecting to cam up, but I should have known it. I peel off this Band-Aid that I keep over my camera on my MacBook. And then on Zoom, I turn on my camera. And that's when she's like, okay, Miss Plunder, you realize you are not allowed to audio record anything. You cannot video record anything. I said, I understand. My Rule 22, is it withdrawn? Yes, Your Honor, I told her. And she said, okay. And then she said, okay, so that means if any video or anything of this hearing gets out, we know it's from you, and you'll be held in contempt of court. And I'm like, yes, Your Honor, very respectful. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, I told her I'm not recording anything, which I did not. I didn't record anything. In the past, there have been court cases all around the country where I have recorded just so I can get the notes right about what happened, not to publish. But I didn't even do that. I didn't record anything. I didn't video, audio record, nothing. I was trying to take little notes on my phone. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's about 10 people or whatever here on this hearing. What if someone else is recording? Anyway, it's not me. I didn't record anything. I have to remember what to tell you guys. So they were just kind of going back and forth. The lawyers were lawyering, of course, getting their ducats by the billable hour. And so Kroy's lawyer, the man, was saying, Kim hasn't really given us anything in discovery. We know she's been working lately. She just made an $80,000 deposit into her account. Previously, she said she owed $1 million in credit card debt. That blah, blah, blah. They just wanted to see all the bills. They said something about, I think they were talking about all the body cam footage, which has gone viral between Kim and Kroy, how many times they've called the cops and all that stuff. It's not just me. You guys have seen it. It's been all over TMZ and everywhere. And then Kim's lawyer is like mentioning me. The judge was asking her something about discovery, I believe. I don't know. I was getting a little confused with all the legal terms. I was sitting there just, kind of stone-faced listening. And the judge and Kim's lawyer said something about Miss Plunder here, and maybe regarding the body cam videos, or me requesting public records request. It's within our legal right to request this stuff. And the judge kind of admonished her, like, that's not what I'm asking. She said it over and over, like the judge was trying to get down to brass tacks, trying to get answers, trying to move this divorce along, because each time it's like, if the lawyers are just going at each other, well, I asked for this and I didn't get this and blah, 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 and it's like going nowhere. And the judge is like, I'm not just going to keep continuing this, which I don't blame them. And I wonder what happened with their house now that I thought about it. That foreclosure date, their mansion in Alpharetta or Milton or wherever, it should be past the foreclosure date. So, I don't know. It was just sad. So what happened was the judge was like, look, do you want me to put you guys in a breakout room? Like, it was already 9:35 or later. They were supposed to be done like from 9 to 9:30. But, celebrities and their lawyers and blah, 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 going back and forth. The judge is like, look, do you want to just go in a breakout room, you and your clients, and talk about this? Because I've got other people here in the courtroom, other cases to attend to. So that's when they went off in the breakout room, and I took my self off camera. I stopped my video. The judge had, left to her chambers or wherever to deal with other cases. And so that's when I left the hearing. I don't know how long Kim and Kroy and their lawyers were in the breakout room, and I don't know when they came back, what happened. I don't know if they'll be ready for their next divorce it should be the final divorce hearing coming up, but the way, I don't know, it was sounding today, it didn't sound like they would be done anytime soon, but it was just annoying. I literally had to Google, are, celebrity divorce court hearings public? And it's like, yeah, generally they're public. That's what the judge told me. Look, I'm treating you, Plunder, they're calling me Plunder. Look, Miss Plunder, I'm treating you as if you had, walked into the courtroom and were observing, and I know courtroom decorum and I know how to act. I know how to say, yes, Judge, yes, Your Honor, and be respectful. And, so that's how she was treating me. So part of me was kind of bemoaning the fact that I didn't take a trip down to Atlanta. I mean, that would have been quite an expenditure to go down there and sit in the courtroom and then videotape just the screens from there. Maybe I should have. I don't know if that would have been worth it. And if you are watching this and you are a true crime reporter wannabe, and this kind of crosses over into true crime only because this celebrity couple has called the police on each other so much, and it's become kind of a domestic violence situation. If you've seen any of their body cam videos, very sad, very, very sad. And that's why following their case and their divorce hearing and their money problems and their foreclosure and all of it kind of flows into the true crime arena. But, if you especially are over 40, over 50 even, whatever age you are, and you want to get into this true crime arena, these are the kind of things that can take up time behind the scenes. If you're like me, if you prefer to go to the horse's mouth, like I don't want to just read something about what whomever says. I mean, and TMZ is great, but TMZ wasn't even there. No one was there. No media was there except me. And that's why I'm like, wow, I didn't even go back. But I was like, I'd rather just talk to my sister. The way, I don't know, it's just a sad, hostile environment. The way they treat media sometimes as an interloper, as where you're just trying to get the facts. You're trying to bring true news, not fake news, to viewers on YouTube. That's one thing that's kind of a slight, like, oh, you YouTubers get everything wrong and people do this and people do that. Well, that's why I try to directly go to the horse's mouth, to the source, to the court hearings, take the notes, download the paperwork, pay for the paperwork. Fulton County charges you, for all this paperwork, and I'll probably go in there and see what any results happen. So next time, Kim and Kroy, if it's still true, I have to check it out. They are required to go in the courtroom next time, and I have to verify that date before I give you a date. Then there'll probably be a lot more media than just me, just solo dolo on a Zoom. No, other people will probably be in the courtroom recording it, especially any Atlanta area journalist or whomever has the budget, to send people there and to see if this contentious divorce is finally finalized. Because a lot of people, they are fascinated with this couple. Kim is very flamboyant in her wigs and her clothes and her spending and everything, and Kroy was just this popular guy, and it's sad to see. No one wants to see a family breakup, but media is tasked with bringing you guys the real story. So this is what we kind of do behind the scenes, or this is what I guess I've learned to do. Like, I've learned to do over the years as a true crime YouTuber, to not just repeat what a mainstream media article might say because they might interpret it incorrectly or whatever, but to literally go to the source, sit there, witness the court hearings like I did today. And I don't know, I guess it just made me feel a little sad the way it's like, no, you can't record, and okay, turn on your camera, and that's fair. I won't say it's not fair. You want to see who's there, If I walked in the courtroom, she'd have to see me, of course, the judge and the participants and everyone, attorneys. But I don't know, I guess it's just kind of sad the way media we can be treated like I don't know, like we're just messy interlopers. And I know, I mean, no one would want necessarily their divorce hearings splashed all over YouTube, and it's a very sad day. It's a very sad day. But I guess on the same token, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword. Like, Kroy became famous because of his football prowess and his great looks and in shape, and then he met this great looking woman, and they met a meet cute on Bravo, right on Real Housewives of Atlanta and the dance competition, and we followed this couple and loved this couple for so long. And Kim too, with her popularity and her reality TV and all these other different shows she's been a part of. Yeah, of course we followed them from years ago, and we're going to be interested in their story. And because of that fame, unfortunately, people don't want to just watch them on reality TV. They want to watch their real life happenings too. And sadly, that includes a divorce. But just giving you guys a snippet, I don't know how many of these I'll do. Maybe I'll do more. There's a trend these days to kind of be on YouTube like it was in the old days, like unedited and over 40, over 50, to just sit here and talk to a camera. I was gonna want to paint my nails too, but I'm like, that might be a little too casual. Get ready with me. But just to give you guys snippets of everything going on behind the scenes. Sometimes I want to just sit here and talk, and this is kind of like a step away from going live. Like, I don't think I've ever gone live on YouTube. I think I maybe did a test once. I can't remember. I've been on YouTube since 2006. I mean, YouTube was invented in 2005. The very next year, 2006, December, I remember I did my first video, a little 15-second video, because that's all we had, like, time on our phones to create videos back then. 15 seconds. And all these years later, I never imagined it would be what it is now. Just watching all these updates of YouTube, how it'll be like episodes, episodic TV almost. And it's changed so much over the years. It's such a viable career. Some people are really finding some success. Some older people, some people have quit their jobs, some people have been fired, some people who just do it part-time. And that's what I always suggest for people to do. Unless God tells you to. I mean, I wouldn't suggest going out and just quitting your job and, oh, I'm going to be a YouTube star. No, I suggest maybe in your part-time, whatever your interests are. Let's say you love woodworking, but you're working as a banker, and you do a little woodworking in your garage or whatever when you get home. And maybe I just have like some lights here, and like a little, thing holding my phone, iPhone 14 Pro Max. It records the sound pretty good. I have like a curtain behind it, and cinematic mode, and just go for it. I tell people to maybe just talk, even if you don't know how to edit. Maybe it's a good thing, because these days the non-edited videos are in some ways winning. Sometimes people just want you to sit here, talk to them. A lot of people on my major channels say they love falling asleep to my voice for some reason. What a gift God can give, because sometimes how you first hear your own voice and you're like, oh, but I've gotten used to it and I really like it. I've learned a lot of techniques. But I encourage people, like, if you're in prison ministry, if you have prison stories, whatever your talent is. Of course, the beauty industry, they were the ones who really blew up on YouTube, and I don't know if that's kind of changed. True crime, of course, is really popular. Unfortunately, there's always going to be crime until we all get to heaven, or whatever. The woodworking guy, let's say you turn on your iPhone right there and you do some things and you're talking and you're giving advice, or you're showing how you carve stuff, or you're an artist or whatever. Just start and say you do 20-minute videos or whatever, and you just go right to your YouTube app and you upload it right there on your account. Let's say you have a YouTube account. You have to verify it. There's certain things you have to do if you want videos longer than 15 minutes, or your thumbnail options, and you do all this stuff. And you don't make money right away. That's another thing people have asked me. Oh, can I just, like, YouTube used to have it this way where you could just upload a video and you could start making a little money. I remember back in the day it was like, oh, this video made $4. And I was like, you can't really make money on YouTube, and I don't know if this is viable as a career. That's what it was back then. These days, they make you hit certain standards before you can enter the YouTube Partner Program, get a certain amount of subscribers and hours viewed, and you can research all that, and then potentially make it in the YouTube Partner Program, and then potentially start making money through advertisements that advertisers play, you know, during the video, the ones you hate, the ones you skip, or what have you. All these political ads these days. But it can be very viable if you're doing what you're meant to do, what you love. Maybe you love fantasy football, NBA 2K, whatever. Different genres don't pay as much money. Maybe it depends. I don't want to speak out of turn, but maybe some gaming YouTubers don't make as much as people giving financial advice or what have you. So whatever your gifting is, though, I suggest not going for, oh, I want to, you know, start making videos about investing just because I think that'll make a lot of money. No, I feel like we have to go for what our talent is, where our interests are. I've always been interested in, I always say I should have majored in journalism. I never thought I'd be in front of a camera, though. I feel like I'm the type that was always more behind the camera, wanting to be behind the scenes, but I always liked creative writing and journalism, but I was a business administration major. That's what I graduated in. But it all worked. You know, we didn't have YouTube back in the day when I was in college. And it all, thank God, has really worked it out. He's prospering me. He's great. And you can do it too. I just don't tell people, you'll be an overnight success. You know, I noticed that a lot. Some people just like telling others that. It can happen, but it also can take time. So say you're working a 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever, and or a lot of people working from home these days or what have you, and you're just filming whatever you're interested in. Maybe you collect pens, I don't know, and you talk about it, and then you get into a rhythm, and maybe you can get one video a week up. Sometimes eventually you find your audience, people take to you, they start coming to you and subscribing to you and watching you, and eventually if you get enough subscribers and you're able to, if you're approved for the YouTube Partner Program, and if you're able to keep it up, consistency is important. I guess if you're on the right path. I always say, see what doors God opens. I'm always trying to encourage people to start YouTube videos, YouTube channels. Some people literally do, and I've watched some people get some traction because they just want to sit and they want to express themselves, and there's someone on the other end watching, perhaps relating to the whole thing, learning from the knowledge you have. That's another thing about older people being encouraged to be on YouTube right now. 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, because we have so much wisdom we can pass on to others. You know, it's not just a young person's game, although I do also like watching young people. TikTok, I like watching young people on YouTube, whatever, because I learn so much from every person I watch, even if it's bird watching, whatever it is. At least it's not AI. And I'm not against AI. I've used AI in the past to duplicate my voice, because that's the thing, we're only one person. And like yesterday, this is a day in the life example. I did this pretty long video. By the time I filmed it, it was over an hour's worth of footage. There was, in the true crime world, there was this big shakeup in the Reddit community. This child predator was running a Reddit sub. It was about this victim, Madeline Soto. Well, anyway, I wanted to, you know, I just feel the unction, like I really wanna, I'm so interested in this. Certain things that I can't let go of that I'm really interested in. I think, oh, my viewers will probably be interested in this too. And so I created a really long, I did a kind of script, I write out my notes, I do my research, and I keep, you know, not like today I'm just rambling, but I had a script in front of me, and I'm reading the whole thing, over an hour's worth of footage. I think I might have filmed that in the afternoon, early, whatever. Got the filming done, and then comes the big part, the editing. So I take my phone off, I hook it up, that's why I love MacBooks and iPhones. hook it right up, download that footage from my iPhone into my MacBook Pro, iMovie, which I think I'm going to get a new MacBook Pro soon because this one's 4 years old and I need more space. So I download the hours worth of footage in there, and I have to put it on an external drive too. I move the iMovie library over to my external drive because I need more space on my MacBook. Then I start editing. I take out all the the pauses. You know, some people think I speak pretty slowly, so I keep this in mind for like what my viewers like. You know, what a girl wants, what a girl needs, what a viewer likes. I like to listen to feedback, you know, constructive feedback. So I go through and painstakingly, I'm a very visual person too. I'm not doing it here. I mean, technically I could load this video up with Kim and Kroy photos and all that. All that stuff takes time. So on my true crime channel, you know, I'm editing out all the mistakes and pauses and stuff I'm taking too long, putting a whole bunch of videos and everything to tell the story of what I was telling. So by the time I got it edited down, it was about 55 minutes and 12 seconds long. I still remember because it took me, you know, I filmed in the afternoon and it took me until 9 p.m. at night to just finish editing. And then creating the video took until around 10, I want to say around 10 something if I'm not mistaken. You have the video file, upload that file on my MacBook to YouTube, then wait for YouTube to upload it, process it, be ready to make sure it's approved for ads. I go through review placement. I place my own ads around every 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. Save it, published. That one was published, I think, pretty well before midnight. I might not be mistaken. Maybe about 11 p.m. or whatever. That video went up. That was good. I always thank God in my journal. Thank you. I was able to film, edit, publish, get this video up, write, research the video all in one day. Sometimes it takes more than one day. So someone might be able to, you know, click over and people are watching it. Thank God it's about probably more than 30,000 views right now. Because once you get in that rhythm and you draw your audience and people know what to expect from you and they're like, oh, we like your style, and you get in a good flow, then YouTube knows, okay, these people like this video. I'm going to show the thumbnail to a lot of people. Not even to her subscribers. Also, I mean, to her subscribers, of course, some of them will get the notifications. Plunder has just published a new video, but also to people who don't know who I am. They're scrolling through YouTube and they might stop on the thumbnail and, oh, let me give her a watch. And maybe, hopefully, Lord willing and Jesus, they'll become a subscriber. They'll become a continued viewer. And once you get in that rhythm, like over on Plunder, I might publish about 2 to 3 times a week. Because I'm not the kind of person who goes live every day. That's a whole different beast. I've never even done it. But the thing about going live is you generally don't have to edit anything. You're just live, you're talking to viewers, you're generally responding to comments and collecting super chats, and you're doing all this stuff. And, you know, people can give us super thanks if we're not going live. But they give you all this stuff and you're responding and you're sharing your screen and you're doing stuff. And then it's pretty much over. You don't have to edit it. But then that's what live viewers kind of expect. They kind of expect a real and raw, not super polished, maybe not very visual. Some people are really good about, I don't know how to do that, share your screen and do all the visuals and all that stuff. That's something I'm contemplating. Maybe I do that on a different channel, because I feel like people on my main channel, they know what to expect. They expect highly edited, very visual, informative videos, like around an hour usually, sometimes shorter, sometimes less, but I try not to waste people's time. I don't want to say, oh guys, I'll be back, I'm going to the bathroom, you guys sit here and do, you know, like that's not me, that's not my style, that's not my flow. I just want to provide as much info as I can in a compact session. Maybe someone's driving to work. Oh, an hour. Okay, I've got an hour. Okay, I can get that done in an hour. So I hope this is all kind of making sense to you. I hope everything is kind of helping you. If you've thought about becoming a true crime YouTuber or any kind of YouTuber, and maybe, you know, eventually the thing is, don't give up especially if you start getting some traction. If it's something you don't like, or if it's something people aren't responding to, I don't know, maybe try something different. But maybe that's why I'm doing this today, because I've seen so many people just on here like, I'm over 40, I'm over 50, and I'm just going to sit here and talk to you for half an hour. And now I do have to get out of here, but I hope anything I've said has been helpful today. I started talking about Kim and Kroy's divorce hearing. We'll see what happens there. We'll keep praying for them. In the meantime, maybe I'll do more of these for whatever is happening, and hopefully I'll hit on some topic that's relevant to you and real and useful. I generally end my videos like this. It's the sign for I love you, and I usually end it with a Bible verse on my Plunder channel, but I don't know if I'll think of an appropriate one. And we know Romans 8:28, God causes all things to work together for those who love him and who are called according to his purposes. Thanks for watching me ramble. Take care.